What if Poughkeepsie were known as a food city? What if throughout our city, in homes, stores, restaurants, and markets, delicious, nutritious food was available to people of all ages, income levels, ethnicities, and cultural backgrounds, and no one was at risk of going hungry?
What if everyone had the opportunity to grow, cook, eat, experience, and learn about fresh food? How can we make our city more vibrant and more just through food? These are the questions that many different organizations, residents, and stakeholders worked to answer over the last 2 years.
What is Poughkeepsie Plenty? Poughkeepsie Plenty is a community collaboration with a mission to ensure the right for all to access sufficient and nutritious food. Our vision is that Poughkeepsie will be transformed into a city where everyone can secure, prepare, enjoy, and benefit from healthy food.
Who is collaborating? Led by the Poughkeepsie Farm Project, the collaboration includes partners who represent Cornell Cooperative Extension, Dutchess County Department of Health, Dutchess Outreach, Vassar College, and many other organizations, county and city government offices, local businesses, and individuals.
What values guide the project? Poughkeepsie Plenty believes that food is the core sustenance of life. Being well-fed, healthy, and able to pursue work and learning opportunities are basic foundations for people to function as productive members of our community.
We are interconnected by our food system and have a collective interest and responsibility to ensure that all have equal and dignified access to nutritious food.
Everyone in our city benefits if all of us have access to good food. Quality, nutritious food for all is a public good, just like education, roads, air, water, and public safety. There exists sufficient resources such that everyone, regardless of economic circumstances, can have enough food for an active, healthy life. An increasingly just, sustainable, and local food system will let us reliably nourish ourselves far into the future.
What about the name Poughkeepsie Plenty? The name refers to the widespread myth about hunger that says there is not enough food to go around. In reality, abundance, not scarcity, best describes our nation's food supply. The real problem is poverty. Poughkeepsie Plenty is advancing a collective approach based on the belief that food should be distributed fairly and with dignity, and that no one should live without enough nutritious food because of economic constraints or social inequalities. Poughkeepsie Plenty would like to get beyond food handouts as a solution to hunger, as this doesn't solve the fundamental issues that prevent people from eating well. We are asking, what changes can we make to our food system to ensure good food for all?
How many people has the project involved? Over the past 2 years, this project has involved over 850 people, close to 3% of the city's population, as advisors, volunteers, or participants in surveys, focus groups, and community food forums.
What has Poughkeepsie Plenty been doing? We are on a pathway toward changing our community into a just and vibrant food city. Step 1, the survey. First, we wanted to learn about the specific challenges we face, so we carried out a door-to-door survey of a random sample of households in the city of Poughkeepsie. The survey was conducted by volunteers who visited the sample households and administered the survey in person from October 2010 to April 2012.
What is the most important finding of the survey? Too many residents of the city of Poughkeepsie are at risk of going hungry. We have learned that 1 in 4 households in the city of Poughkeepsie are food insecure, 26.8% of households. As a point of comparison, Poughkeepsie's levels of household food insecurity outpace the most recent indicators for the nation as a whole. We are not prepared to accept economic and social conditions where 1 in 4 households experience limited or uncertain access to adequate food.
What else has been learned from project research? Food insecurity is linked more strongly to poverty than to knowledge. We've found that across income levels, people are just as likely to be educated about food choices and make those choices when available. We also learned that people who find it difficult to get to a grocery store are much more likely to be food insecure than those who find it easy. About 1 out of every 16 people we surveyed faced transportation difficulties simply getting to markets and stores to buy food. You can learn more about the results of our household survey and read the full report on our website, farmproject.org/Poughkeepsie-plenty.
Step 2, Community Food Forums. In addition to the survey, we convened 19 different community food forums in which over 300 people contributed specific ideas for how we can use our resources to ensure plenty of nourishing foods for all residents. As participants in these forums, residents of our city have begun to outline an emerging consensus about ways to make good food more affordable and accessible. People are excited about finding ways to grow more food at schools and in gardens in the city, about creating new structures and strategies for expanding food access, including mobile farm markets and a community cafe, as well as about improving existing institutions and strategies for food access, including finding ways to bring more fresh food into corner stores and improving transportation to farmers markets and grocery stores. People are excited about convening food publics to celebrate and affirm food as a public good, and about shaping the dialogue about food in our city, educating ourselves and our city about the role of good food in personal and community health.
Which brings us to step 3, a community food coalition. On June 23, 2012, 80 stakeholders gathered for an afternoon at Catherine Street Community Center. The gathering started with a sharing and celebration of what Poughkeepsie Plenty had achieved in more than 2 years of work. Stakeholders self-selected into groups representing different initiatives of the consensus that was emerging from the community food forums. Each group chose one specific high-impact project inspired and informed by all the ideas generated about how we might use our resources to make Poughkeepsie a just and vibrant food city. Participants took some time to consider their own roles, levels of commitment, and availability to help move projects forward, and in this way, coordinating team members were identified and working groups of the Poughkeepsie Plenty Community Food Coalition were launched. Working groups are moving forward on projects that have to do with mobile food, improving fresh food access, school and community gardening in our city, holding a food festival, and networking in our region to ensure best practices and policy change for plenty of nourishing food for all residents. Poughkeepsie Plenty is an ambitious project, and it needs to be. But the good news is we are not alone. There is so much going on to eradicate hunger in sustainable ways. Many people, near and far, are doing great work to use their community resources to build food systems that ensure the right for all to access sufficient and nutritious food.
In a multicultural Brooklyn neighborhood with little open space, an edible schoolyard project transformed a concrete public school parking lot into a half-acre organic garden where students are taught how to harvest over 60 types of fruits, grains, and vegetables. Every class participates in organic gardening and kitchen education every month. The project has strengthened edible education as well as academic performance and overall attitude.
Right here in Poughkeepsie, City Seeds connect middle and high school students to natural environments and learning through food production and preparation by involving them in maintaining a school vegetable garden, cooking with produce, and engaging in lessons about the food system. The program includes farm visits to the Poughkeepsie Farm Project's fields.
3,700 families are growing their own food and helping beautify urban neighborhoods through a network of 47 cooperative community food gardens in the Albany area. This is a picture of Poughkeepsie's own Fallkill Partnership Community Garden on North Clinton Street.
Veggiemobiles respond to the question, what if you live in a neighborhood where the nearest grocery store is miles away and you don't have a car? These produce aisles on wheels bring healthy, fresh food to senior centers, public housing, and other densely populated areas or low-income neighborhoods in the Albany area, and right here in Beacon in Dutchess County.
Across the U.S., there are nearly 24 community cafes based on a pay-what-you-can model. Some of them allow diners without sufficient money to exchange an hour of service. Some residents subsidize the meals while others benefit. The basic idea is that everyone, regardless of economic status, deserves the chance to eat healthy foods while being treated with dignity. The Department of Health is working with more than 1,000 bodegas in Harlem, the Bronx, and Brooklyn to increase the availability of nutrition education and healthy foods, especially fresh fruits and veggies.
Some communities are working to address transportation issues that are barriers to accessing healthy foods. Austin started a grocery bus line to provide improved food access to residents of the primarily low-income Latino East Side. In Michigan, a partnership with public transportation providers brings senior citizens to the local farmers market. In Hartford, another partnership provides phone order grocery service for seniors.
Finally, we want to share with you the example of a food city in Brazil that has achieved amazing results with a coordinated and effective response to hunger. In the early 1990s, Belo Horizonte, Brazil, decided to act on the idea that food is a basic right and redefined urban hunger as a problem, not of food supply, but of access. 16 years ago, the first People's Restaurant opened in Belo Horizonte. Today, more than 15,000 people get meals at the city's 4 People's Restaurants every day. Anyone, rich or poor, can eat there. municipal workers who consider themselves as defenders of the right to eat serve fresh and healthy meals costing the equivalent of 85 US cents. Financed by property taxes, these meals cost each of the city's 4 million inhabitants about 5 cents a week in public money.
Belo Horizonte's anti-hunger plan goes beyond affordable meals to the production and distribution of food. The government helps to sustain more than 100 community gardens, providing access to water and fertilizer. In low-income areas throughout the city, neighbors can get organic fruits, vegetables, and medicinal herbs grown literally around the corner. The city of Belo Horizonte gives away land plots in impoverished areas to entrepreneurs who agree to build markets. They must offer at least 20 items of produce at a subsidized rate of no more than 38 cents per kilo. The low-cost markets have flourished, earning profits on high volumes despite low markups.
Belo Horizonte's food security policies have had real results. Since 1993, the city has had a 60% drop in infant mortality and a 75% decrease in children hospitalized for malnutrition. We can follow the example of Brazil and achieve amazing results here. Our vision for Poughkeepsie can unfold over a period of years. We can challenge ourselves to make Poughkeepsie a just and vibrant food city.